afternoon, everybody. My name is Darian Jones. I'm the Marketing and Development Director at the Lighthouse of Houston. We are so excited for our online presentation today. We're going to be showing you all about this really cool product called the Splay. So we'll have our guest Taylor join us here in just a minute. But before we go ahead and get started, I'm just going to give you a little information about the Lighthouse of Houston. So the Lighthouse of Houston has been serving the blind and low vision community for more than 85 years through our different health services, assistive technology resources, community and support programs, vocational skills training, and internal employment opportunities. We serve over 14,000 people every year through our different programs, services, activities, and events. And one of our main goals is to foster communities of belonging with accessible resources that enable personal and family well-being, learning, development, and employment. And of those we employ here at the Lighthouse, about 58% are blind or low vision. Our mission is to enable and empower people who are blind or low vision to realize their full potential. And our vision is a life without limits for people who are blind or low vision. You can always visit our website for more information or follow us on social media to get updates. But today's presentation, like I said, is going to be all about the Splay. And so I'd like to introduce our guest, Taylor, today. Hey, Taylor. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Darian. As she said, my name is Taylor. I'm the VP of Sales at Arovia. We make this super cool product behind me that is called the Splay. Now, we have a product line specifically for our low vision users that are wanting to take advantage of all the accessories and extra warranties and screen replacements that we can offer. So you'll find this called the Splay ZT, and it is offered through local distribution, things of that nature. But with that being said, we have this really cool foldable screen that has a whole slew of eye health benefits that it can basically help you out when you're using a screen throughout the day. This is an alternative that will travel with you easier. It has a battery built in, and it's going to have those eye health benefits. So some of the cool things about this, I'll just dive right in, and I want it to be really conversational. So anyone listening in, feel free to post comments. And, when I get to a lull and we have a good moment, I'd be happy to answer any questions, concerns, or just anything that you think the product's cool. But with that being said, we have the Splay here. This screen on the front is a nanomaterial screen that actually we developed in-house. And this is one of the main things that's going to give you your eye health benefits. We have a 70% reduction in blue light output compared to a traditional screen. Now, we've all heard, we've got blue light glasses that people use, blue light filters that we're putting on screens, or just turning down the blue light output on our computer system. And what that does is it really strains the eyes more. It can mess with kind of sleep patterns. And a lot of times why, if you're staring at your phone before you go to bed at night, that's one of the main reasons that we might have trouble falling asleep afterward, is just how that affects your brain. So the blue light is one really important component, and we have minimized that and made it reduced by 70%. Another big component is this nanomaterial screen. You can probably tell if you're able to see what I'm presenting here is there is no glare. So this is like a rubberized surface, and it basically is flexible and rubberized. And no matter which way I turn this, it isn't going to catch that surrounding light. So you're going to have completely glare-free, even in a pretty bright environment. So that's another component that really makes our eyes strain when we're using screens a lot, is when we're focusing our eyes in different areas and moving our neck and head in order to adjust and accommodate for that glare that we are finding. That's one of the main things that is going to make the binocular vision just become tired, for your headaches, for your eye fatigue, and just neck pain ultimately, because you're moving all the time trying to find the right angle on your screen. Lastly, this screen also is a light diffuser. It's the world's first fully flexible light diffuser. So what that means is it is not beaming LED directly from the projector in the back of this unit through the front into your eyes. Now, I'm going to show you how the product works and turn it on and everything, but I just kind of want to set the stage for what you can expect with this, because we're not just talking about a typical screen. We've really kind of reimagined how you can do this technology to make it extra portable, that it'll go anywhere with you, and you can use it longer without having the same eye fatigue issues you would with your current screen setup. So as I was talking about with that light diffusing property, it's not beaming LED directly in your eyes, and it's actually shining that light out in all directions from the screen, but you still get a very crisp image. So that direct stimulation of your retina from the light being on a direct path from the light bulb to your eye is basically going to strain your eye more. Think of the difference between if you were to look at a spotlight that is directing light directly at you versus looking at a lamp that's going to illuminate all of the light outwards, pass through a diffuser, which would be the lampshade. And you can look at that and it's not going to strain your eyes as much. So we're giving it the correct presentation to the eye so that ultimately you're not having as much exposure from that light and as much eye fatigue and strain and headaches and migraines and things that come along with that. So now let's go through the mechanics of this device. You can tell we have kind of a funky shape here, but the reason for that is because this actually has the ability to expand and collapse into a small case. So if you can believe it or not, I'm going to fit this 25-inch large screen monitor here into this tiny little case. So I'm just going to pull on this clasp right here, and it's going to collapse kind of like an umbrella. And when I want to re-expand it, similarly, I can just push this clasp forward while holding this projector on the back. There's a nice little handle carve out, and then boom, you've got a 25-inch screen. So it's super easy to use when you're expanding and collapsing. I've had some of my elderly clients with limited mobility in their arms be able to expand and collapse this with no problem. It can help to just use gravity with you too and use it, when you're pushing it out, push it down, and then it's even easier. So I'm going to put this in the case so you can have an idea of how small this thing goes down. So when I put this in the case, point this down a little bit here. When I put this in the case, basically what I'm going to do is there's a zipper around the perimeter of the case, and I can actually take this, fold these arms in like this, and then it sits right in there in a nice tiny little package that you can just close up. And basically, once you rezip this perimeter here, it's all secured and easy, good to go. When it's in the case, you can also open this pocket and you can reveal your charging ports. So a nice thing about this is you can charge it while it's in the case. It's got a USB-C in the middle here, and that's how you charge this device. It's got a USB-A port, and what that is for power out. You can't plug like a thumb drive into here and use that to present an image. What you do is you could plug a Roku stick into here though, or an Amazon Fire Stick, and it will power that device, plug in the HDMI, and you can then do wireless. But that's just a fun fact. There is a way to do wireless, but typically when you're using this device, it's a really nice and easy plug and play solution that we can just plug in an HDMI cable and then plug in the other end to whatever our output device is, and we're going to have no problem connecting. We don't have to worry about Wi-Fi or wireless or connectivity or Bluetooth, plug and play. Now, this is the power button that's also exposed. The reason that's exposed is because if I click this, these lights will illuminate and tell me what my charge is. So it goes up to 4 dots. It's at 3 dots right now, so I'm at about 75% charge. So that's a nice feature of this pocket is you can kind of access that interface when it is in its case. And then also we have this nice little pocket on the back, and that's where I keep my HDMI cord. I also have a USB-C adapter that I'm using, and this USB-C adapter, HDMI to USB-C, will come with your Splay ZT. And that will allow you to plug it into any tablet or phone or whatever you need to plug that into. So when I take this Splay out of its case, all I need to do is just open it up, and there is a handle right here in the back on the underside. Your handle fit nicely in there. The arms will kind of fold out and be sitting in a downward position. And then when I want to expand it, all I have to do is push on this cuff. I'm going to push it outward away from my body. You're not going to break it. This is a nice, robust, durable screen. And when I push it out, we've got a 25-inch screen. Now, another nice component about this is it's really easy to break screens. I've broken plenty of phones in my time, from a simple drop to dropping something on it on a table. This is highly, highly durable because this is like a fabric here. So this thing is going to be very durable, and you are not going to damage it. I would never do that to my laptop screen. That would surely break it. And this thing can take a heck of a hit and it will be fine. This is also going to be water wicking, so you don't have to be as worried about water exposure. Just want to be careful not to get water in the fan on the underside here. Now, to finish walking through this product before we boot it up, on the back side of the interface, we have our power button, as I mentioned earlier, and our plug-in interface. And then we have a plus and minus set of buttons that are going to adjust your brightness and adjust your sound. So these buttons are tactile. They protrude from the body so you can feel where they're at. And the brightness is on top. Sound output is on the bottom. And then we also have this little button that is a keystone correction button. What that does is you can use this as just a projector, because this is a projector shining on the back of this specialized nanomaterial screen to give you the image. Now, for some of our more tech savvy users, you can unzip the back and you have the ability to unclip the clasp that lies inside of here, and then all four corners will pop out. And once you pop the corners out, you can remove the projector. I'm not going to go into the projector functionality today because in general, I encourage users to start with the screen interface, and it's super easy to learn to switch to projector mode if you would like to. But I like to keep it as easy as possible, and ultimately you really get these eye health benefits using it as a screen, even if you don't go to projector mode. Although in projector mode, you're at about 100% blue light reduction. So it can be nice if you need a really large image on the wall, and you're always welcome to reach out to me if you have more questions about that. But I'm going to continue through. So on the underside here, there's also a 1/4 inch tripod mount. So you can put this on a standard tripod. This unit will come with a mini tripod that you can put on your desk. And it will also come with one of those telescopic tripods where the legs can slide out. And it is a full-size tripod, so you can just mount this wherever you need it. A lot of my users like to put it next to their desk so that they still have their space to use for work and magnification or whatever they're doing, and then have this stationed right next to it so that they can basically use the screen, look up at it, and have their workspace still available. The very last thing is the slide adjustment. This is for the focus. If you ever have an image that is at all fuzzy, when you are in screen mode or monitor mode, you can just slide this back and forth to get it to a focused image. If it ever moves while it's in the case, the focused spot is always going to be in the same location. So you can just feel where this little icon is and just remember, oh, okay, I'm always to the side of that, and that's where my image is going to be focused. So you can just memorize that spot. For the most part, this won't move too much on you, but just so you're aware, if you were to switch to projector mode, you're going to have to use that slider in order to get your image in focus because it's just a different distance. But it is very easy to use. You just slide it back and forth, and it will come right into focus for you. So without further ado, we will turn this thing on. And basically, to turn it on, all I'm going to do is I'm just going to hold the power button there. Now, it'll make a little noise, and you'll hear the fan will fire up because this has a battery in it, and it also has a self-cooling mechanism. So you can run this for a long time with no problems. Our screen is illuminated. I'm going to hold off for a second because it is a white screen right now. And cameras, when they pick up a white screen, tend to do a funky little shutter, and I don't want to hurt anybody's eyes. So I'm just going to turn this, and I'm going to plug in my phone with this USB-C adapter. So I'm going to plug in one end HDMI to the back of the device into that slot. And then I'm just going to grab my phone here, pull up a little video, and then plug my phone in, and we're just going to be able to see whatever is on my phone. So the nice thing about this is you don't have to mess with formatting or what it's outputting. It's just going to mirror whatever's on your screen. Or if you're using a magnifier, such as like MagnaLink S, for example, if you were to pair it with that, you can just plug the camera into here, and this is your screen that can travel with you anywhere. So I've heard many times kind of the complaint that people have these desktop magnifiers that we never really have an opportunity to use because we're going out into the community, we're going to work, we're going to the library, we're going to coffee shops to get our work done. We're not sitting at our desk at home. In cases like that, you can bring this Splay in its nice compact case with a mobile magnifier camera, or just use your phone's camera, and you have a whole magnifier that you can take with you anywhere. So really, there hasn't been much opportunity to take a desktop magnifier with you out into the world feasibly until we kind of made this pairing of the Splay with these other technologies. So I'm just going to throw up a random little video for us to check out here so we can get an idea of the visual quality and the image and all that fun stuff. So basically, we're just going to plug this in. And just like that, we have full visual contrast, color, images, you name it. So it is going to have this look to it that's almost like an Amazon Kindle e-ink surface due to how this nanomaterial screen is. And when it's showing it, I mean, it looks like you're just looking right into another screen. And so now we got some random little video game footage here. It's great for gaming, great for work, great for sports. I mean, there's lots of fun entertainment use cases, but for productivity wise, it works phenomenally well for that. It's got the speaker built into the back. And when I turn it up and down, if you're able to see in the upper corner, there is actually a volume icon showing me what my volume is at. And then I can also turn my brightness up or down. And that's that second icon that's appearing there. So some folks like to use it at a lower brightness. And as you can see, this is a very, very gentle image that is not going to hurt your eyes at all. Also, we can turn that brightness up if you want to get a little better contrast, and we can definitely make it exactly how you need it for your purposes. So yeah, I just like to show these little videos so that you can get an idea of the image clarity, lots of vibrant colors and moving parts for you to get an idea of. But yeah, ultimately, super high quality image. And even while it's running, like you can touch this, you can get close to this. There's no pixelation, no matter how close you get. No matter which way I turn this screen, you're ultimately just going to see the same image, and you're not going to get any pixelation or glare or distortion. So it's great when you're at an angle, it's still going to work well. And you can get as close as you want to it and still have a super high quality image. You can touch this. You're not going to smudge it. This is like a rubberized material. So truly super durable, easy to interact with. But the main thing is, I have had people that use traditional screens for even 45 minutes to an hour, and they do not have the ability to continue using screens because they ultimately have eye fatigue that they get. So I've given them a Splay to try out, and I've got people that have used the Splay for 4, 5, 6, 7 hours plus for a full work day without having those same eye fatigue issues. And they're even telling me, I've tried 10 screens in the last 5 years. I've tried everything I can find. I've tried the blue light glasses. I've tried the screen filters. And really, they are having the ability to do work for longer comfortably without having those side effects and adverse eye effects that they were never able to get before. So it's really been helpful for a lot of people. Now, I'm just going to talk about some of my users and how they use this, because obviously it's a cool technology, but there's so much you can do with it as far as screens go. I'm going to turn the brightness down on this so that we can keep seeing how good that image quality is. As you can see, it puts out a fair amount of light. And so when the camera is focused on me up front, the Splay in the back looks extra, extra bright. But with that being said, some of my users, I think this is great for many different age groups and lifestyles because it is so versatile. I have educators and students who both use it, one of which who is an educator. She's a teacher who is going back to school currently. She uses it in both roles because ultimately when you're traveling around a college campus or a high school campus and you need to carry your computer, you need to carry some textbooks, you need to carry all your materials as far as pens and pencils and paper, and you've got a 20-pound backpack. And then if you throw assistive technology on top of that, I've got people that are having to use, AT carts that they're pushing around, and they have basically been able to use their phone as a magnifier or a mobile magnifier camera, plug it into the Splay, and just like that, they are carrying it around in their backpack. They're no longer pushing an 80-pound cart around campus. So for students, they're going to the library and doing homework. Set up your magnifier camera or open your camera on your phone and plug in and do some magnification. For teachers, if you are working at home, at school, doing your grading, you're doing it both places. My wife is a teacher. I got a family of teachers. So there's all kinds of places there getting work done. And if you want to have a nice Saturday morning coffee shop visit, you can also pop this up and throw it on a tripod. And you can blow up your images so you're able to see whatever it is you're trying to grade, whatever it is you're trying to read. And ultimately, if you're just doing long hours trying to read a book that you've got the print copy of on there, and you have trouble with the lighting, reading actual printed text, or the text is too small in a book, this could be a good way to have basically like a giant Kindle that you could read on for a long period of time. So we've got some really cool users in that educational space. Next, we also have kind of the professional user, anyone that is going to be traveling for their job, or, doing like work on spreadsheets or doing work on lots of document processing. So I'm thinking beyond just teachers, we've got anyone from, people doing like clerical work, people doing like secretarial work, lawyers, anyone in the medical field. There's a lot of records and a lot of data associated with those jobs. And this ultimately is just going to be a really great way for them to take it with them everywhere they want to go. And then they can also take advantage of those eye health benefits to use it for longer. So that's a great question, Janelle. Now is a great time to answer it. Janelle has asked, how good is the outside display? The glare of a laptop can be annoying when working outdoors. That is 100% true. Yes, that is one of the things we solve. Now, if there's direct sunlight, the image can get slightly washed out. Now, I mean, you can still see what's on the screen. I'm going to open my window here so we got full daylight, and I'm going to turn my brightness all the way up. And I mean, we still have good image quality there, even with daylight coming into the room. So it will wash out, full transparency. But if you have any sort of shaded area, because typically we don't want to be in direct sunlight when we're outside anyways, if you have a shaded area, you're going to get a really good image quality, just like I'm showing you now. But I've had users use it outside and they're like, yeah, this works better than a laptop. So what I'll say is it's much, much better than trying to use a laptop with the glare that it presents, because we aren't going to have any glare. So it is going to be much better for outdoor use. And ultimately, in outdoor use, a lot of times there's not a table available the way that we want to set it up for a laptop, for a monitor, for another screen. This can go on a tripod anywhere you want it, and it has that in-house battery. So yeah, if you're able to see this image behind me, we've definitely got a really high quality output still, even with it's a sunny day outside here for me. And, we're not having too much washout. And in the future, we're just going to get better and better, higher resolution, make these cases smaller so you can take them with you even easier. But yeah, that's a great question, Janelle. And I would say much better than a laptop, much better than a typical monitor. But I am always going to be real with you. So there will be a little image washout, but you're still going to take advantage of all those eye health benefits. Any other questions right now while we're paused? If not, I can just kind of hop back into talking about some of our users. So yeah, I definitely want everyone to feel heard. And as questions come up, feel free to throw them in the chat. And I'm happy to take those aside, because if there's anything that is really, popping into your mind as I'm talking and I'm missing it, I definitely want to address that, because I'm sure a lot of people are wondering the same thing. But I will keep talking about users in the meantime. I don't see any more comments here. So as far as users go, I was talking about that kind of professional space in the mobile professional. In today's world, tons of people are working remote. Everyone wants to work remote, work from home, work on their back patio. As Janelle said, we want to be able to set this up outside and have no problem. And if you have any kind of shading, you are not going to have any problem whatsoever. In the direct sunlight, slight image washout, but still better than the alternative. Now, using it in offices, in airports, in libraries, in coffee shops, and you go into a new office and you want to do a presentation for somebody, and they have an audiovisual setup that they already have set up in the room, but you don't want to take the time to connect your whole system to it. I'm just going to turn the volume down here, because I don't know if you can hear it, but I'm hearing some sound effects behind me and it's distracting me. But with that being said, talking about the users, there we go. Talking about the users that are ultimately on the road, they can pack it so much easier than they could any other monitor as well. I mean, this is a highly, highly durable case. I've dropped this out of my car and it's tumbled all the way down my driveway while the Splay is in here. No problems whatsoever. We've had military folks use this thing in the field and they sent it back with no problems after 2 months in the rainforest. So this thing is super durable. And we also offer our low vision users lifetime screen replacement. So if this were to get cut with something sharp for some reason, because it's super impact resistant, but if I took a knife to this thing, I could cut through it. If that were to happen, we replace it for you for free, no problem. We want you to have a functional unit. So if it were to get damaged in travel, A, that's typically not going to be a problem because it's very durable. But B, if it is, we'll figure out a way to get it replaced as quickly as possible for you. Now, moving on to another class of users is ultimately, as we get later in life, a lot of us get to find a little more leisure in our time, which is awesome. Everyone deserves it. So with that, this is a TV that can move wherever you need it to. I've had users that have told me I've watched TV in bed or a movie in bed for the first time ever, because they're able to lay back, put it on a tripod right next to their bed in a hotel room, especially because I'm sure at home you have an accommodation you've already set up. So you're able to, see your TV easily in your bedroom. But in this case, you pop it up on a tripod right next to your bed and you can watch movies and watch TV and watch, your nephew or cousin's sporting events, whatever it is. Put it up on the back patio and watch there. I've got veterans that use it for that purpose because ultimately they don't want to set up all this techie stuff in their house and have the smart home set up and have a TV that's voice controlled attached to their lights. It just gets to be a lot. We've got a Splay on a tripod. It weighs 3 pounds. It's super easy to move around and put wherever you need it to be. And typically, we're going to be using it in the same spot. But I mean, I've got people who can't watch an entire baseball game without their eyes getting fatigued, looking at a bright LED screen and straining to see the score at the bottom of the screen. They have to give up at halfway through the game and start listening to it on radio or just listen to the commentation. They're not able to use their vision anymore without getting those adverse effects as far as headache and eye fatigue and dry eyes, and they're watering. And I'm sure we've all been there. I use Display as my primary screen for that exact reason throughout the day, because when I stare at my laptop all day, my eyes are completely gassed by the end of the day and they're watery and I can't. And then at night I go to try to do something for fun on my computer, maybe watch a YouTube video or, work on one of my songs. I can't do it because my eyes are burnt out. So really for anyone, but our low vision users typically find that they have higher severity of these visual, issues as far as using a screen and having a negative effect, as well as they're burning out on screen faster. So these are things that we want to try to solve with Splay. Now, for those older users, it is very easy with the tech because you turn it on, you turn it off, you plug in the HDMI, and you're rolling. You can plug it into a phone, a tablet, a laptop, your magnifier, whatever it has, as long as there's an HDMI output, you can easily plug it in. So that's something that my users really like too, is that it's just simple to use, lightweight, and it can travel with you. So really, it fits into a lot of different groups of people as far as students and educators that are just going to be mobile and needing to interact with a lot of different things. For those professionals that you're like, I sit on my screen after 2 hours and my eyes hurt. This is a great solution for you. You're thinking, I'm going out and doing presentations and I don't want to have to go and use their AV equipment or be at the whim of whatever is there. There might not even be AV equipment and you show up and you need to do a presentation. You've got your Splay with you and then you can walk away afterward and use it as your screen. So it has a lot of different outcomes that you can use it for, as well as the leisure purpose. I mean, ultimately I call it leisure, but I would say lifestyle is a more appropriate word, because ultimately none of us can really go through our day or do what we want to do or be who we want to be if we don't have our kind of personal side taken care of and have some way to decompress. And for many of people, that is watching TV, that is watching sports, that is, like doing an artistic endeavor. If you're doing any sort of like web design or digital art or AI art or programming, anything that's on a screen, this is just going to be a better way to do it. I, in fact, have a student that uses it specifically as a graduate level art student, and she does all of her art on her tablet that she watches what she's doing on her Splay, because she can't be on her tablet for an elongated period of time without getting that eye strain or without having to switch like an OCR technology, optical character recognition, to listen to that text for the rest of her classes by midday. So ultimately, it just opens up a lot of doors to be able to use our utilizable vision for longer. And it just makes it a lot easier to take your screen with you and put it wherever you need it. Now, last accessory I'll mention that also comes with this unit is a mobile power bank. That power bank can charge this Splay almost 2 full charges. This battery, depending on how bright you have it, will last anywhere from 2 to 4 hours. You can imagine higher brightness, less battery, lower brightness, longer battery. So if you're using it at like a middle battery setting, you can expect to get about 3 hours of screen life out of it without it being plugged in. It'll still run while it's plugged in, but I know a lot of my low vision users don't want to have to go into a new place and try to find a power outlet and try to find where to plug this thing in. If it is getting low on battery, let's say, you're at work for 2 hours using your Splay, and then you go to, the coffee shop where you go in the afternoon to get some productivity stuff done. and you don't know where that outlet is, that's why we want to provide that power bank, because then right in your bag, the power bank is very small. It's about the size of a smartphone. And you can plug your Splay in while it's running. It'll charge faster than it outputs energy. So if it's plugged in, it'll be charging. And basically you have the ability to continue to work and charge your Splay up to about 2 more times off of that battery pack to give you 8+ hours of battery in your bag so that you can use your Splay all day. So that's kind of the goal of that battery pack. So just to recap, your Splay will come with the Splay ZT for our low vision users, will come with a full-size tripod, a miniature tripod for setting it on a desktop. It will also come with that mobile power bank so that you can charge it while you're on the go. And then it will also come with the USB-C adapter so that your HDMI can plug into your phone or your tablet, or, you know, if you have a newer computer, it might have, you know, a USB-C output instead of HDMI. No problem. We have that adapter included. We also include a right angle HDMI adapter, just if you were to get one, so you know what that is. And that just turns your HDMI 90 degrees so that you can plug it in at a different angle if you would like. That's just an option. And then lastly, we also are just going to give you a charging cord for the Splay and an HDMI cable. Obviously, I should have said that one as well. So essentially, we try to give you everything that you need to be able to jump right in with the Splay, incorporate it into whatever system you're currently using, because whether you're mainly a laptop user, this is just a good way to use your laptop longer, or whether you have other assistive technology that you carry with you, you ultimately have the ability to use that assistive technology in new and easier ways with the Splay. So I will pause there for a moment. And does anybody have any questions that have popped into mind as I was talking? Anything about the Splay, how you use it, the mechanics? Yep, so we got another question here. Janelle, thanks for hopping in. So the question is, how good are the speakers or the audio quality? The weight of the unit is 3 pounds, correct? So I'll start quickly. Yes, correct, 3 pounds on the unit. That is the weight while it is in the case. So it's even a little bit lighter when it's not in the case, like just under 3 pounds, like 2.8. So yeah, very lightweight, about 3 pounds total. Now the speakers in a personalized setting, if you are using them just for your purposes, are going to be more than good enough. But if you are in a loud or crowded area, I will admit, we're not a speaker company. We make good displays. So with that being said, we will have stronger speakers in the future. We have put good enough speakers in here. I would look at it similar to like the speakers in your laptop. If you're sitting there at your computer, you have no problem hearing the speakers on your laptop. But if you were trying to use it for like a group event or to play music on it, you know, then you might potentially have that washed out by the surround sound. So, I mean, just judging, you can imagine this is the speaker on the back here is really just going to be about the size of, you know, like a JBL speaker, and it's around the sides here. So, I mean, I'll turn it up all the way so we can get an idea of the volume output, just so that y'all can hear it. But they are plenty good for personal use. So I'll turn this up all the way here. I'm just holding the volume up button. And turn the volume up on my phone. And then let's play something that has a little bit of volume to output here, because this video doesn't really have like any music or anything like that. Let's go like this. So it gets pretty loud. Like, I wouldn't want it any louder than that sitting right next to it right now. You can probably hear it washing out my voice. So yeah, speaker, pretty dang good for the size is my final review of the speaker. It is built in. It does run with whatever you're showing. And it can go pretty loud, but I would just say, you know, it isn't for like big group events. But the nice thing is, whatever you have plugged into it, if your computer is HDMI'd in or your phone, you could still Bluetooth to a Bluetooth speaker or to your headphones that you typically use, and you could use that as your audio output. Because this operates as a exterior monitor, you can choose what your sound output is going to be. So if you were in a scenario where you needed really loud sound, I would just recommend Bluetooth to a secondary speaker. But if you are using it for personal use or for like a small group or watching like a football game or something, for example, and you needed to hear the commentator, I use it for that all the time. No problem on the sound quality whatsoever. But as I've told you, I will always be honest with you and tell you how it is. So we do hope to have louder and better speakers in the future, but it does get the job done.
Hello. I'll just say from our end, it sounded honestly louder than we were expecting, which was really cool. What are the different sizes that the Splay comes in?
Great question. So right now we have the 25-inch that is available right now. That is going to be corner to corner, 25 across. We have a 35-inch model that's going to be called the Splay Max ZT. That is going to be coming out this summer. So that Splay Max, you know what? I've got the prototype with me. I'll pop it up for you just so you can see how much bigger it is, because I think you're going to be impressed, because this Splay Max is quite large. But the nice part is you don't sacrifice supportability. We've still just got a nice tight little case here that's super easy to carry with you. It's got a nice handle on it. But ultimately, same idea. I'm just going to unzip my case here. I'm going to grab the back side. Same idea. Got my handle in the back, but the arms are longer and the screen is bigger. So when I pop this guy open, look at the size on that. A little bit bigger than the other one. I mean, truly, it's double the size. So, I mean, same idea. We've still got the projector in the back design with a large screen up front. This one I definitely recommend using on a tripod just because it is such a big screen. You don't want to take up your desk space with it. But we do have this 35-inch model that's going to be coming out this summer, even bigger and better. And what I'll say is, if you get a Splay ZT, the 25-inch normal version, and you want to go to the 35-inch max version, the nice part is the projector that goes in the back is modular. So this is the projector that goes in there. We can interchange the 25-inch, we call it the shroud. That's what we call the screen and arms. We can exchange the 25-inch shroud for a 35-inch shroud and just swap the projector in the back. You could do that yourself in a matter of, a couple minutes. Or if you're not comfortable doing that, we could have, one of our folks in the area take care of that for you, whether it's a rep from a distributor or my company or at the Lighthouse, whatever it comes down to. But you will have the ability to switch and quote unquote upgrade from the Splay to the Splay Max if you already get a Splay and you decide, you know what, I think I want a 35-inch version as well that I can take out and use with bigger groups, or use it if you just want an even bigger screen to view all of your materials on the go. It's going to have all the same benefits I mentioned with the glare reduction, the blue light reduction, the light diffusion, etc., but an even bigger screen so you can see it even easier. So yeah, y'all are among the first to get to find out about the prototype of the Splay Max 35-inch. We just have a couple prototypes in circulation right now, and we're about to start making these guys so that we can roll them out this summer.
That is awesome that you guys are making a even bigger one. Just curious, have you guys ever talked about making a smaller one for people who are more limited on space?
Great question. And yes, we want to basically, where this product is going is, think of the iPhone. There's the base iPhone, and then there's like the iPhone Slim version, then there's the iPhone Pro version, and then the Pro Max that has the even bigger screen. What we want to do is we want to have display, and then we're going to have a Splay that basically can collapse into an even smaller case. I mean, we're talking pocketable. Like you could put this thing in your pocket and then maybe still even get up to an 18, 20, 24-inch image on there. So that is going to be on the smaller end, while we also go to the larger end too. We might even go up to 100 inches someday, like turn this thing into like a movie screen. So we have a goal of basically this being our version 1 25-inch, and then we're going to go bigger and we're going to go smaller. And basically, you're going to see whether the screen is getting bigger or smaller. You're going to see our collapsed sizes getting even more manageable. Because already this 3-pound case, pretty dang easy to take with you. But we really want you to be able to put this in your pocket. Like, you don't even need a bag to carry it. So that is our goal. And I know my CEO, Alex, who he's located in Houston. So he's right in the backyard there of the lighthouse. And he developed this product specifically with that in mind. Like, I want to have something that people can put in their pocket. And obviously, we wanted to start where it was feasible because this had never been done before. We had to invent new types of optics. We had to invent new types of glues. We had to invent new types of nanomaterial to make this product. But now that we have it, we want to make it even more portable, and we want to make screens even bigger. But ultimately, I think that is a really achievable vision for us, is that we're going to get this to something that fits into your pocket. You're going to see that in the next couple of years. And it can expand anywhere from a 15-inch screen up to, 50, 60, 70 plus. We have the technology how to do it. It's just a matter of, we're a small company, and it takes money to do cool stuff like that. So we're piecing it all together in order to bring you guys those really cool solutions.
Well, that is really interesting to hear. To echo one of the comments, outstanding. If someone was interested in getting a Splay, what would the process for that look like? Where can they get more information, or where can they potentially purchase one?
Yes. So for my low vision users, I like to rely on my localized distributors, as we call them, because ultimately they're right there in your backyard. They have the ability to teach you how to use it in person, provide upkeep, provide any sort of information that you would need. Now, myself, Taylor, I am always a resource for you. So to get started with step one, you can always just shoot me an email, taylor@arovia.com, TAYLOR@AROV as in Victor, IA. And that will get that process started, because ultimately we're going to be getting demo units to, the centers around Texas, including, with the Houston Lighthouse. So that they have a unit that you could try hands-on and kind of go through your traditional channels of how you would get assistive technology. For example, in Texas, I'm sure most of you have heard the name Crystal Vision. They are the premier provider of assistive technology in the state of Texas, and they're my main provider. And they're able to take localized care. But like I said, I'm here for you for questions, concerns, comments. But Crystal Vision, we have this already on the state contract, so we're able to fulfill it to people without them having to necessarily pay out of pocket for it. So ultimately, to start that step, you can either reach out to your Texas workforce group that you're working with, or the Lighthouse, or your EAS consultant, whoever it is in that process that helps you get your assistive technology. You can let them know about the Splay, that you're interested in trying it out. And then also you're welcome to shoot me an email, and I can, do whatever I need to do to make that an easy process for you. I always want to be accessible to anyone that's interested in getting the Splay. And once you have it, I want to know how you're using it. I want to know if it's working for you. I want to know what it's changed. I love to hear that feedback. So yeah, that would be the process to get one, is work with your kind of localized assessment center, whatever that may be. The Houston Lighthouse in this case, and they can kind of assist you through that process and connect you with Crystal Vision. And one thing I want to mention with that is, we are supported by a company called LVI America. Her name is Kimberly Klein, who runs it. She is a phenomenal person. She has been around the assistive technology market for a while, and she knows what she's doing, and she knows how to help people. And ultimately, LVI America is a provider of all kinds of assistive technology that they make in-house, from magnifiers, that like MLS camera that I mentioned, the MagnaLink S, is a great option to pair with this product, because they actually can just both fit in a mobile case and be taken with you anywhere you want to go. But LVI actually helps us represent this product. So ultimately, if you ever came across anything, if you came across anything with LVI talking about the Splay, that is still me. That is still us. That's not someone else trying to sell this product. Ultimately, LVI helps me get this in front of as many people as possible, because obviously I have this really cool solution that can help a lot of people. But we're a small, lean and mean team trying to do as much as we can to get a solution that has never been thought of before to folks like you. So LVI, Low Vision International America division, with Kimberly Klein, is somebody who is helping represent this product and marketing it and bringing it to these distributors, such as Crystal Vision, who is the representative for Texas. So I know I threw a lot of names at you there, so I'll just do a quick boil down recap. I'm Taylor with Arovia. We make this product. I'm the VP of Sales. We work with Low Vision International, America, and Kimberly Klein, who help us get this product out there so everyone knows about it. Now, depending on where you are in the United States, there's local people that can help you, that'll deliver the product, teach you how to use it, provide maintenance and support, and all those little things for you. I'm sure you've worked with one of them before. In that neck of the woods, I know there's like NanoPack, there's Crystal Vision, there's different people that touch there, but truly, Crystal Vision is the one that we work with in Texas. So if you were in the Texas area, that would be the person that is going to give you the hand-to-hand service. Now, if you're not in Texas, feel free to shoot me an email. I'll find you the right person because I want to make sure you have multiple people you can call to get assistance so your Splay is always working and you're never worried. So, long answer, but I wanted to make sure it was very clear that there's all sorts of ways you can get a Splay, and none of it is a scam. None of it is some other company trying to convince you to do something. I just try to spread my wings wide so I have a lot of people in my network so that ultimately I have a local way to assist anyone in the United States. If you want to Splay, I could get someone to your house to deliver it and teach you how to use it is basically my goal. And that's how I do this. So that is the process. Reach out to me, reach out to your local resource to get a demo and make sure it works for you. Anyone else in the comments have any questions that popped into mind throughout that? I've thrown a lot of information at you. Anything from how to use it, what it works for, any products that you have that you're wondering, hey, I wonder if Splay would pair well with this product that I have or this laptop. Curious if you're located somewhere in a remote area and you're worried how to get it. How much money? Okay. So thank you, Barbara. We've got how much does it cost? So for the Splay and all the accessories, the Splay ZT, that is going to be $1,400. So relatively speaking, we all know assistive technology is very expensive, but ultimately we always want to bring you the best product we can. And for all of these different technology innovations that we have in here, really, we've got competitors that are selling mobile screens for $2,000. Like if you look up the Asus Zenfold, which is a competitor that is just a normal screen, it's still going to have glare problems, blue light problems, non-diffused light. That thing costs $2,000. So, I mean, when you're looking at portable screens, to be honest with you, we are among the most competitive out there. You might find a cheap projector for a couple $100 you could take with you, but it probably doesn't have a battery in it. Probably doesn't have a good carrying case. And ultimately, that's probably an LCD projector that is only going to last a year, maybe 2 years. You need to clean the components in it. They're just not the most robust version. We have a DLP projector in here, and that DLP projector is super high quality. We've had these out for years and never had any problems with the projector or the battery. So we're just bringing you a really premium product, and we've still managed to beat the price of other mobile displays. And ultimately, if you buy a monitor for $200, then get a pair of blue light glasses with your prescription in it for another $200. And then you want an even bigger screen. So then you end up getting another one for $200. And then you want to get a blue light filter screen cover for that one. You're in another $50. It's like, this is what I hear from my users is they're like, I've been on this year-long path to find the screen that works for me. And typically that adds up over time. So really, I think we have a really good solution at a pretty decent price point for what we're offering. The 35-inch will just be about $200 more than that. So $1,400 to $1,600. And if you have the first one, you have the ability to get that shroud and add it. So you have the 35-inch. So that is the price, Barbara. Thanks for your question. Okay, we got another one. This one from Edwina. We've got, how does it pair with the big screens used by teachers and ISDs? So it will pair wonderfully with anything that you need to pair it with, as long as it has an HDMI output. So basically, if you were to pair it with a big screen, I guess you would have the ability to plug it into the interface that is presenting to that screen. So like, for example, I'm imagining like there's a big screen mounted on the wall, for example, that like you're pairing your laptop with, and feel free to comment in here if I'm off with this, Edwina. I'm happy to pivot. But there's like a big screen on the wall that everyone's looking at, and then potentially we've got somebody presenting from a laptop. And then we have some individuals that maybe have some visual impairment needs that aren't able to see that screen on the wall. Okay, good. We're on the right track. So what I would do, and I've used it for this specific purpose with some, specifically some high school counselors that were doing college admission visits. But basically they are presenting on the big screen, and for the wireless connection there, you're fine. But then you plug in the Splay with the HDMI port, and you can put that on a tripod in front of, a group that may need to see the information closer or more blown up or whatever they need. That would be an excellent use case, Edwina, would be to put the Splay on a tripod in front of the students or faculty that need it, and then plug it in via HDMI, and basically it will just mirror whatever's on the laptop screen. So you could be presenting on both at the same time and have that accommodation for the people who need it and still have it up on the big screen. There's a lot of cases like that where essentially we could use the Splay as like, spatially put it where we need to in a room for any kind of presentation, or, we have people in the back of a room that can't see. We could place this off to the side for them to be able to see the screen that's being presented. If we do have a student who has extenuating needs and really needs to see the whiteboard better, this would be something where we could put a camera on the desk and point it up at the board. For example, the MLS works great for this. Point it up at the board and then have your Splay sitting off to the side, and you can now read the whiteboard and zoom in and out and change your contrast in real time. So that's a great way to use it, or in presentations to just put it in front of students or faculty that may need a larger or higher quality image to be able to see. So yeah, it gives you a lot of options in how you can present, and allowing to easily have visual accommodations for people who need them. It's kind of like a one-stop shop rather than having to find different solutions for different rooms and different solutions for different scenarios. It is, okay, we're going to this location and we have someone who needs large print, or we have someone who needs, a more modified image or further cues. No problem. Take the Splay in there in the tiny case, pop it up in about 30 seconds on the tripod, and you're rolling with that accommodation taken care of.
Well, this has been super educational, and we'll give people another minute or two to get their last few questions in. We'll probably be wrapping up here in just a little bit, everybody. But yeah, we're just sitting here and learning about it, and it seems like it's such a very unique product that there's not really much else like this in terms of the way you're able to move it around so easily, and just the bright screen colors. That's something that's, whenever I've seen it, I'm like, wow, the colors are so bright and vivid.
Yeah, and it's honestly impressive. Like I hardly believed it when I first kind of was looking at the data around like the optics and the scatter of the light and all these things. I'm like, is it really diffusing the light? It's like such a crisp image. And I see like the optical feedback pattern and stuff, and I'm like, okay, I guess it is doing that. And so it's hard to believe that it even is giving you the eye health benefits because it looks so good. But then once you're 3 hours in, you're like, oh wait, I don't have a headache right now, and I always have a headache right now. And so then it just starts to take effect for you.
One more time, can you tell us about how much it weighs with and without the case?
Yep, no problem. So with the case, it's comes in right about 3 pounds. And so out of the case, it's just a shade under 3 pounds, like 2.8 pounds. So it's super lightweight. I mean, like, just to give you an idea here, I'll just unplug this really quick here and turn it off. Like, I can like easily hold this thing up with like one finger. Like it is not heavy. Really, the front is weighted just a little bit because of the weight distribution here. But yeah, it is super, super lightweight, no problem. My grandpa in particular is somebody that I had test this out because he's got some mobility, limited mobility in one of his arms. And he was able to do it no problem. And to be honest with you, I was even thinking, I don't know if he's going to be able to do it, just to do that push motion, and he was able to do it. So I would say if he could do it, just about anybody could. And he's been through the ringer, and he's a good man. So anyways, yeah, only about 3 pounds.
Oh, it was muted. And so yes, it's very super lightweight, everybody. And then just one more time, I'll put your website address up. So www.arovia.com. And also if anyone wants to get in touch with you with more questions and to learn more about the product, put your email up as well. So that's taylor@arovia.com.
Absolutely. And I would encourage you, if you are interested, you're welcome to go, check out the website, check out Amazon, whatever else that maybe you look for your technology on. But I would say just email me as the first step, because I want to get you connected to a localized resource that can really give you the best service. And also, if you buy it on there, you're not going to get the extra accessories, and you're not going to get lifetime screen replacement. I offer that to low vision folks that are working with the distributor, because I just want to give you the best service. Yeah, thanks, Edwina. I appreciate the comment. Very cool. So many students that'll benefit. Honestly, that's somewhere that I really think we're going to have a huge uptake is in schools. My mom is a career guidance counselor, English teacher. My wife is a teacher. All my mom's friends are teachers. And so basically, I took this to them, and I was like, what would we use this for? And they just rattle off thing after thing after thing. It's like, oh my gosh, when I do presentations in the library, oh my gosh, when we have students that need accommodation at their desk and they need to be able to see the whiteboard. Oh my gosh, when we have college admission counselors doing presentations, when we're doing faculty meetings, it's like, there's just so many ways that this can be used within a school system and in the professional world. So you're always welcome. Even if you just have ideas like, hey, Taylor, if you thought about someone using it like this, email me. I love to hear that stuff. It's always helpful. Myself and Alex, my CEO, are both always trying to get that feedback. That's really why we do it, is we're trying to make something that is usable and actually solves problems for people. So I love to hear that feedback.
All right. Thank you all so much for tuning in today with all your wonderful questions. And Taylor, again, thank you so much for sharing this really cool product with us. Any final thoughts before we wrap up? All right, everybody. Well, like I said, be sure to visit their website or send Taylor an email with any questions, comments. Like you said, feel free to reach out. And once again, we are the Lighthouse of Houston, and we love to help connect you all with helpful resources and organizations and products in the community. So we do these online workshops once a month. And if you guys have ideas for those as well, just let us know. Until next time, everybody, have a wonderful rest of your day. And again, thank you so much for being here. See y'all next time.
Thanks for having me, Darian. Thanks, everybody.